Growing up, my mom and I weren't very close. We couldn't really relate to each other, but as I got older and had children, we grew closer. She helped give me the ability to work as she watched my girls, and she was always there whenever I needed her. Because we had grown so close, I was able to notice something wasn't quite right when she began to exhibit cognitive changes. One day, after not being able to reach her, my husband went to check and found her on the floor. That was the beginning. She went from living on her own for the past 20 years to being wheelchair-bound and diagnosed with thyroid-induced dementia, which meant she can seem normal, but she can't remember what she just ate. With my own physical limitations and my husband working full-time, we were just not in the position to take care of her, and I began to tour long-term care facilities. She moved into Father Lacombe 2 days before Christmas. They were singing Christmas carols, and although she couldn't remember her full name, she sang along and remembered every word. It brought tears to my eyes seeing her so happy. She was a singer, and these were her favorite songs. The more involved she was, the better she became. But I started getting a lot of upset phone calls many times a day, especially at bedtime and in the middle of the night. Mom had done the same thing every day for years. Now she couldn't do them for herself, and they weren't being done right. The raindrops at bedtime weren't being set for an hour. They didn't put socks on her, a pillow under her feet or behind her back. They didn't close the curtain or the door or turn off all the lights. Any deviation of her routine and I would get a call. I couldn't take her phone away. That was her lifeline, but I had to figure something out. I couldn't constantly be calling the nurse's desk. I couldn't just run over in the middle of the night. And my husband and I couldn't handle the multiple calls while we were sleeping. Something had to change. I was a professional advocate working for a union, and now it was time to advocate for my own family. After a while, I realized most calls were at the beginning of the month when the healthcare aides would change, just after they had learned Mom's routines. We noticed that Mom's roommate had the same healthcare aide all the time, so I called the care manager, Marfay, and I asked how we could get the same for my mom. She said they were working on implementing consistent staffing, but it was going to take some time, so hang on a bit longer. A few weeks later, Marfay called and said they were having a meeting about consistent assignments and asked me to come. It was a little intimidating, but I felt good about being a good advocate and a good daughter. With my job, I could see both the side of management and the side of the healthcare aides, but to me, consistent staffing just made sense for the residents. From our perspective, the rollout was seamless. Mom has the same aide every day, and at night it rotates between 2 different aides every other month. They know her routines, and she has a deeper and more meaningful relationship with them. And she is still friends with all of the rest of the staff. Things are different now. It often feels like I am the mom and she is the daughter, but we have never been closer. I get my goodnight phone call, but I don't get those 3 a.m. calls anymore. She doesn't spend her nights or days crying when routines are interrupted, and it's great that the quality of all of our lives has increased. After many years of not being such a good daughter, now I feel like I am.